We live in a world where people will do almost anything to avoid discomfort. They'll scroll for 3 hours on their phones instead of just sitting alone with their thoughts. They'll quit the gym after a week because the soreness feels unbearable. They'll avoid difficult conversations and call it protecting their peace. They'll procrastinate on their dreams because uncertainty feels uncomfortable. They'll stay quiet online because judgment feels uncomfortable. They'll stay in jobs they hate because change feels uncomfortable. And then they wonder why they feel weak, anxious, lost or stuck. Because here's the truth. If you cannot handle discomfort, you cannot grow. Now, if you recognize yourself in any of these patterns, first of all, you're not the only one. I know these patterns all too well, okay? I've lived some of them myself. But by the end of this video, I want to give you the mindset shift that completely changed how I think about discomfort, and why learning to handle discomfort might be the missing piece behind confidence, discipline, and personal growth. Because resilience is not something that people are born with, okay? It's something they build, and I learned that the hard way. I actually had a very good childhood growing up. Everything was good, I was loved. But when I was around 12 or 13 years old, I had to leave home to go to boarding school. And for a timid kid like me, that was hard, really hard. Those days were very different from today. You got thrown into an environment where you basically had to fend for yourself emotionally. There were initiation rituals and humiliation, constant social pressure, older students trying to break you down, for fun, because that was the culture back then. And honestly, part of me learned how to stay invisible, but another part of me learned resilience. Now, when you repeatedly go through uncomfortable experiences and survive them, something changes psychologically. You stop seeing discomfort as the end of the world. You realize you can handle more than you thought. I do believe that something important happens when you repeatedly face discomfort instead of constantly escaping it. You build evidence. Evidence that you can survive difficult situations. Evidence that discomfort is not danger. Evidence that you're more capable than your fearful mind originally believed. And I think this is something a lot of people are missing today. We've become very good at avoiding discomfort. The moment something feels uncomfortable or difficult, uncertain and awkward or embarrassing or painful, we escape. We scroll on our phones, we distract ourselves with other things, we procrastinate, we retreat into comfort. And the dangerous thing is that every time you avoid discomfort, you train your nervous system to become more sensitive to discomfort. You reinforce the belief that discomfort is something dangerous. That's why so many people collapse under pressure now, not because they're broken, but because they've unintentionally trained themselves to avoid emotional resistance at all costs. And eventually that avoidance starts costing you your life, because discomfort is the price of growth. Think about it. The person who becomes confident had to survive embarrassment. The person who becomes disciplined had to survive resistance. The person who becomes resilient had to survive difficulty. There's no way around it. So comfort feels safe, but it also quietly weakens you. That's the paradox, The more you avoid discomfort, the more fragile you become. The more willing you are to face discomfort, the more resilient you become. Start seeking out more discomfort. Lean into this discomfort, because resilient people don't need perfect conditions to move forward. They don't need motivation every single day. They trust themselves to handle discomfort when it comes. That's real confidence, not the absence of fear, but trust in your ability to handle difficult emotions and continue moving anyway. And honestly, this is exactly why I created the Rebel Creator Blueprint, because so many creators are stuck waiting to feel ready before they act. Now, the blueprint walks you through my ACT framework, which teaches you how to awaken your inner rebel, how to challenge your inner doubter, and how to take radical action so you can stop letting fear and discomfort control your life and start becoming the kind of creator who actually follows through. Now, it's completely free, and I'll leave a link below in the comments and in the description. The Rebel Creator understands that growth feels uncomfortable because transformation challenges your current identity. And that's why Rebel Creators act before confidence arrives. Because resilience is not something you wait for, it's something you must build. One uncomfortable action at a time. So maybe instead of asking, oh, how do I avoid discomfort? Maybe the better question is, what kind of life is my comfort costing me? And that right there, that is the mindset shift. Because your future will be determined in large part by how much discomfort you're willing to tolerate in order to become who you're capable of becoming. If this resonated with you, let me know in the comments, what's one difficult experience in your life that actually made you stronger? I read all the comments and I genuinely love hearing your stories and perspectives. So if something in this video connected with you, or you've been struggling with fear, discomfort, or resilience lately, come talk to me in the comments. And if you're ready to stop overthinking and start becoming the kind of creator who executes, make sure to grab your free copy of the Rebel Creator Blueprint that I linked below. Thanks for being here, and remember, action builds identity. I'll see you in the next Rebel Creator session.